Sheila, hi, it's Kenn Schroder, website designer for coaches. I'm over at coachingsitesthatwork.com. And in this video, I'm going to look at your website and share with you some of my thoughts on how you can improve it. For those of you listening in and watching this video, hit subscribe, hit like. It really helps me know that other people are watching. And if you can post a comment, tell me what you like, you don't like, how I can improve, change my color shirt, or slow down, or other kinds of things you want to hear about, I'd love to hear it in the comments. Okay, so Sheila, let me go into your website, and I've got a list here of things that I'd like to go over. First, I'd like to say that a lot of things I love about your website right when I arrive. So you have a great image of yourself, and his color pops in that image, and has a gray background, and then the rest of the site is a gray or white, very light. So it feels spacious, it feels good. The menu is at the top to the right, and the logo to the top left, and it's where I would expect it. So I feel good. The site feels easy enough for me to get involved with, and yeah. So I really like the layout and the initial feeling I get when I first arrive. Are you ready to connect and still trust and get the right results? Cool. You're telling me about things that as a potential client of yours. And from what I gather, you've had a lot of experience in internationally, leadership, executive kind of world. And your big thing, from what I've read, is on relationships. And so you're speaking to that. So I like that you have a message here, and it's simple and it's obvious. Speaking to about what you do and to the interests and challenges of your kinds of clients. Okay, so a lot of great things right when I land here that I like. Let's see, photos and yeah, so it's simple and has great images. You have other images down here, which is good. So the simplicity is great. Nice job there. Some things that I'd suggest to improve, or things that catch my attention. Okay, so with the logo, you have. Oh, by the way, yeah, one of the things really right off the top is you should get your name on here. You're For the most part, it's you. There's no coaching team or consultancy here. It's you working as an executive coach. So you should have your name on here, which you may not have thought of, and it's common. It's common for coaches to get their sites together and do all kinds of stuff and forget to put their name on there. And I'd have your name under your photo here in a handwriting font to make it personal, so that we don't think this is a stock photo of some sort. Yes, your picture is that good, you might think it's stock photography, but get your name in there. Also, I'd recommend getting your name underneath your logo so we know it's you as well. Um, Another client of mine, let me just pull that site up. I'll show you how I did it with his, and it could be an easy way you do it with yours. Okay, so I'll pull his website into here, and then we'll come back to yours. So a client of mine, Kevin, we're nearing completion of his website, but I'll show you something quickly. So we have his domain name is leader.works, and so we have his name underneath it, Kevin Kissinger. Okay, so we have his name underneath it, so we know who it is. I should probably get his name under his photo here as well to make it really obvious, but we have his name under his logo. And so you might want to do something similar for yours. Yeah, executive, and have your name under here. Okay. The word also the EI is emotional intelligence, and right off at the beginning when I came, I didn't know what that meant. And it's not that clients need to know what your logo means exactly, but if it's not clear, it just sort of adds a wonder or like confusion point. And so you might want to put emotional intelligence, or you might want to maybe bring that into the picture sooner than later. Okay, so it's a big unknown. EI executive, what does that mean? I'm not sure. And it's nice when everything on your website, your content, your menu labels, calls to action, everything is something that clients or people can refer you. Just just about anyone in your network or in your sphere of where you're going to be coaching can immediately understand and get everything without much thinking, and just enjoys your site, breezes through, and clicks to you and gets in a call with you. Okay, so that EI is a point of it's a point of unknown for me. Um, Also, I know you have a book here and it's new. Congratulations on that. That's awesome and amazing. A nice credibility piece. To sell your book, you're probably going to link people to Amazon to buy it online. You're probably not going to have a shopping cart, so I'd get rid of the cart. You might have cart software in here, thinking that's how people would buy it. But you're probably going to have it on Kindle and Amazon. Oh, there, look, you have Kindle there. So it's probably going to be on Kindle and Amazon, and you probably want them to go there to buy it. So I would get rid of the shopping cart element there. Unless there's more to it, like you're going to package it with a workbook and a leadership video or something, then you might want to have a cart. But even then, um, how you're going to deliver a product is a question that should be answered. And my suggestion, really smooth and simple, minimal. So your book probably going to be a link to Amazon and buy it there, or some other publishing service. So I'd get rid of that cart bit in the corner. Probably don't need that. Um, so another thing is, when I arrive on a website, I know a good thing to do when people go to your homepage. The homepage is really a place where people kind of get their bearings. Oftentimes they'll come there for the first time if they're clicking from your profile, or maybe they met you at a talk and they're coming there later on or something. But at the top of a homepage, a good thing to do is to encourage people to dig into your content, to sort of give them that next step that they should take to start engaging with your content. On a mobile device, we'll scan, we'll thumb down low and we'll see. But I recommend, pulling what you do into a story that really pulls people into, like, reading, so that we're not just, trying to. Now I have to decide services about or scroll down, and it's not really. It's a guesswork for me. Um, for you, if you're trying to get clients and explain what you do and make it, and get people engaged in why they should talk to you and hire you, I would be intentional about where you want them to go next. And story formats are really good for engaging people and getting your message across while keeping them, reading. And so here, maybe there's a button that says learn more, or there's an arrow going down saying read more below, or even just have some of the content peeking up low on the page when I arrive. Right now, I'm on a MacBook Air, so if you had some content peeking up below that, a headline that would, three things that, why relationships are difficult and why they're the key to success as an executive, you know, um, some statement or headline or something that implies that I'll learn more. But at the moment, you have nice small chunks of content. You have other stuff on here too, so it's good that you have content on the site. And um, I can only go into so many things. I will mention. I think I have another thing or two to mention about content on my list here, but I'll get to that in a moment. Um, okay. Some small little typo things I saw. Which small things? Let me just say, because I saw it here. There's a period here, but no period in the other bullets. And I think on another page there was a little bit of that and some text that was kind of unfinished. So you might want to double check your content. Just maybe you're just getting close to finishing, and etc. And I understand that totally. Another thing I wanted to mention was here on the My Purpose, you have this thing called Call Me, and that's fascinating to me. I wonder how good or useful that would be. I wonder, when people come across you and looking at stuff on your website, will they want to engage in a discussion with you here? And maybe not. There's also connect with me on LinkedIn, so maybe that's a thing to do too. That I wonder about. That could be cool. Maybe not. Maybe a text first, because just for someone to call you, they're going to need you to be free. And are you really sitting there willing to answer the phone at any time? I don't know. Maybe not. Um, Another tricky thing with this call me or connect with me these different calls to action, is that you also, on the bottom of the homepage, you have a thing called contact and get in touch, but you also have contact at the top, which leads to a separate page. So now, so at the moment, we have several different calls to action, and it can get tricky on a website when someone says book a call or fill out this form or get in touch or contact, and there's just many different ways to get in touch with you. This can make your sales process confusing, but also can confuse people what really the next step is they should take, because now they have to think about what to do. So I would suggest making one main step the next step to take, and dedicate a page to it. It could be contact, and anywhere else on the site, like say the bottom of the home page, you have a call to action that says contact me now and let's start talking about improving your emotional intelligence and your relationship leadership skills. And then go to that page, contact, and leave it all to one thing, contact. This is just one step you want them to take. In addition to making it simpler for your visitors, it's also simpler for you to track as a business owner. What are people actually doing? And it's also simple for you to test and make sure it's smooth and written well, and make sure it's works. With the different contact forms and different pages and phone numbers, and sometimes people do this customer support box at the bottom, like the coach is a customer support service line. It's just kind of I don't know. My take is that let's keep this simple, and something like here, say, get in touch with me and let's talk about your leadership. Or however you want to word it, make it obvious, simple, consistent, and just one call to action. Okay. Okay. And then a couple other things on my list. Let's see. We also have in the footer something a little quirky. So when I go to the footer, I'm on a MacBook Air 13-inch using Chrome browser. There's a menu you have down here. Yeah, executive. This is sort of a next menu, which a lot of people say is handy because people can get a quick sense of the website down here. And if they scroll down, they don't have to scroll back up. But it's a little quirky here because as I scroll and I get here, I stop because I don't see anything else coming up. But this bottom footer area is actually buried under this. So you might want to make that bottom you want to make it just show up at this point right here, a little bit of it showing up, so for me to know that it's there. Otherwise, it's kind of buried. And I actually wouldn't have a bottom menu because your website is kind of small and simple. And since your menu at the top, the header at the top is persistent, it shows as I scroll down, then I probably wouldn't have this menu at the bottom. But then I'd have to check it on the mobile as well. So maybe have the menu, maybe not. But definitely make it show up so it's not hidden like this. And let me go into a final thing that you asked about in our emails. You have a book and you're thinking about your sales process, how you're going to go about getting traffic, and you want to think about how to get this book in to use it as a way maybe to get people on your email list or in your sales process. Like, get my book, we'll get in touch, and you could follow up. Some way to get their contact information, and even perhaps get some maybe some content from them or a response from them written, so you can follow up and develop the relationship, which I'm sure you know all about. You'll engage them at the beginning and take it to a next step, and then as their coach, maybe they'll end up on a phone call, and if there's a need, you'll offer to coach them, etc. So you have a process for that, which I think is great to think about, and it's good that you're thinking about that. I'm, as a relationship focused kind of person, I'm sure I am probably preaching to the choir. But with your book, yes, you can invite them to get on your list for tips and get a free copy of your book when they do so. And they get on your email list, you'll want to commit to sending something to them on some periodic basis. If you ask them to get on a list for their email address for your free book, the reason people give you their contact information, they'll think, is because you intend to contact them. So if you're going to give them a free copy of your book but never follow up with other tips and stuff, it doesn't make sense to have their contact information. Although being online and getting free stuff in return for our email address, knowing people will follow up is kind of, in my experience, just kind of way that we understand things. Okay. So with your book, maybe one way to do it is give free. You can offer a discount, although that's going to make the whole process more complex, requiring people to put in their contact information and make payments, etc. I think I would try something simple to start, a free copy of your book, and a promise of relationship tips for executives who want to lead powerfully, maybe something like that. And then you can be in touch on some basis, but that'll require some ongoing information sent to your list. So you have to think about the commitments you want to make when you have an email list. So there's some things to think about when it comes to how to make that part of your process. But again, I want to say that your website has a lot of simplicity to it. Well, it's simple, and you've got a great presence with your photos on your homepage. I hope this review was helpful. We are going to speak in a few days, and we can go over some of these. But Sheila, thank you for having me review your website. I hope you found these things helpful. For others who are watching, please hit like and subscribe if you want more reviews of websites and other tips that I put out. Again, my name is Kenn Schroder. I'm a website designer for coaches over at Coaching Sites That Work. And Sheila, I'll see you in our meeting.